What's up, everybody? Welcome back to CourseCreatorHandbook.com. I'm your host Amit, and today I have a awesome video. We're gonna go over Trello.com. So Trello is something I use. It's a project management software, and I have used this to launch my own course, which is Let's Rock the Hotel.com. And I'm going to show you how you can use Trello. It's a free software. You can just go to Trello.com, sign up for it. Let's see if I just go to Trello.com. I'm currently logged in, so I might have to log out. And actually, let me try to open this in incognito to show you what that looks like. So trello.com, and that'll get you there. And again, it's a free project management software, and I have used this to organize my course, and I'm going to show you how you can use this to organize your online course. It's fairly easy to understand. This is their main page, Trello.com. It does come with an accompanying app, and most of their stuff, most of their free stuff is what you would need. I don't think I used to have a account that you get 1 year paid if you keep referring someone every month, so I ran out of that referrals after my first year. So then I just switched back to the free account, which is perfectly fine. So let's dive in. When you go onto Trello.com, click on sign up. Once you sign up, you'll get logged in, and this is what your Trello screen would look like, minus all these boards that we have created. So first thing we want to do is create a new board. So go ahead and create that, and we are going to name this, let's say we're creating a new course on Trello course outline. And right now I'm going to leave the theme as none, and I'll show you how to create themes. So the first thing you'll see is this is how it looks like. This is your board. This is where you'll be working to manage your project. And here first what I want to do is change the background. So the menu opens up. You can close this menu. I'm going to click on show menu, click change background, and they have either solid colors, or you can use these free photos from Unsplash, which is like a free stock image website. So I'm just going to use one of these. Boom, done. So what we want to do here is Trello works on a project management principle called Kanban, Kanban, which is where you put things in different buckets or different lists. So think of these as vertical columns, and as things progress along in your project, you move them from one bucket to the other. So what those buckets might look like would be to do would be bucket number 1. So I'm just going to put that in here. Doing would be bucket number 2, and done would be bucket number 3, so on and so forth. So you can keep adding as many of these lists as you want. We're going to do with today we're going to work on to do, doing, done, and I'll also show you what my Trello boards look like before my course launched. Now it's not as active as it used to be when I was launching my course. So these are called lists, and then within each list you see these cards. So let's take a look at what those cards do. So I'm going to create a new card in here, and I'm going to call it module 1 basic, module 2 intermediate, and module 3 advanced. So imagine this being your modules for your course, and these are all your modules. Now every time you create a new card, you can do more stuff inside the card, and we're going to do that. But before we do that, I want to copy all of these on the to do, doing, and done. And how you can do that is I simply hover over this card and hit the Control C or the Command C button on your keyboard, and then go over here and hit paste. So that copied and pasted that card. You can do the same with this one, and then same with this one. So that's how you copy paste cards from one list to the other. Let's say you wanted to copy this card and paste it on a completely different board. In that case, what you do is you'll hit this little pencil here, click on copy, select which board you want to copy it to. So if I go to my course outline board, I can copy it there, and then select which list. So these are all lists. Like in our case, the lists are to do, doing, and done. So what Trello is asking is which list do you want to put this card in on this new board, and I can say I want to put it on the teachable list, and I want to put it on the top position. So then I just click on create card. Now we don't see it here because it just happened on another board, but I'll show you what that looks like. So I've copied these 3 cards across the board. Now what we're going to do is go inside the card and make some more changes. So let's say your first module is basic, you have to finish that. I click on it. Now you'll see there are a bunch more options here. The first one is you can write some more detailed description about this module. This module will cover the basics of using Trello. You just hit save, and then your description is saved. Then your team or you can write comments in here, and then I'll show you teams and how that works. But let's go over the menu items here on the right. So first one is members. This would be people who are part of your team. Right now I don't have any other people on my board, but you can invite members to your board, and that's how, once you have invited people to your board, you'd be able to see them here, and then you'd be able to assign people to particular cards, which is awesome. If you're working maybe like a co-hosting, you're doing a course with someone else, or you're working on a project with someone else, you can use this feature. Next is labels. So in labels, you can put labels on your cards. I'm going to put let's say a green label here, and I'm going to say this one is not done, so I'm going to put a red label, and I'm going to say green means done, red means not done. And then let's go in this one, and I'm also going to put a red label here. Now I mean these labels could get out of control, and you want to keep track of what they are called. So what you can do is, if you go back into the card, you simply click on the card, it opens up. You go on the label and you click this little pencil, and now you can name it, and I'm going to name it as done. And now I know I won't see it here. There is a workaround for it. I'll show you that in a later video. But you won't see the name of the label here unless you actually open the card, and then you will see the name. So same thing we can do here. We can actually do it right on the first one, whereas this one we'd call it not done. So now that I named it once, it carries over the name to any other card that has the same red color label. Now if you don't like these colors, you can enable color blind friendly mode, and try saying that 5 times, and once you do that, they change into these patterns. So you can again do what works best for you. You can create a new label if you want. You have all these patterns. We'll leave it at that. And then the next thing on the card you can do is you can have a checklist. So let's say in my module 1, which is a basic module, I have 10 things I want to do, so I call it a checklist. You can name this checklist anything you want. Things to do to complete this module, and then you can start adding items to it. So I can say prepare slides, prepare audio, prepare video, edit slides, record slides, so on and so forth. So you can keep adding as many things to a checklist as you want, and then you can have more than one checklist on a card. So I can click on another checklist here and call this second checklist. And now I can start adding stuff to this checklist, and all you do is you simply you just type in whatever you want to type in, hit enter, it automatically goes on to the next step or to the next item on your checklist. So that's how you'd add checklists. Once you have added them, so let's try to add a new one. So when you're creating a checklist, right, what you can do is, third checklist, you can copy a pre-existing checklist, and this is great if you're doing every module of yours has kind of like the same stuff. You can copy items. So let's say I can copy item from checklist number 1, and I just hit add. Now I have that checklist again, and I just copied everything that was up here down here. I'm not going to do that right now, but I just wanted to show you how it works. So we'll leave this one checklist in here. Now you can assign this checklist to a member of your team. There are a few ways you can do that. One, you just put @ and let's say my name. Now that won't notify your team member that this checklist has been assigned to them. To do that, there is a workaround. What you do is you add an item, You start typing @ and your team member's name, they will show up here. You mention them, you hit add, and I move this to the top. Moving is simply drag and drop with your mouse, or if you're using the app, simply keep it clicked on your smartphone, and then you can drag and drop it. So this is how you can mention your team members' names, so they know that this checklist is assigned to them and they're the ones responsible for everything below this first checklist. And you can do that with any number of checklists that you want. So that's how checklists work. Once an item is complete, you simply mark it done, and that will cross it off, and then you'll see this percentage bar increasing as you check things off, which is another cool thing Trello has, so you can keep checking them off. Let's say I added this by mistake, I didn't want to add this. I can just click onto it and hit the delete button, or I can convert it to a card. So once I click on convert to card, you will see it appears right here in this list. So you can convert it into a card if you wanted to, or you can delete it, or there are a couple of more options here, which is you can put an emoji in there. Let's put a thumbs up, and you can also mention team members, which we already did, but you'd again do the same thing. You can say all members on the card, all members on this entire board, or just mention one particular member. So you can do that. So that's how these checklists work. I'm going to remove this mention right here. So that was checklist. Now you can also have due dates for each card. You cannot have due dates for each checklist unless you just create a card, put one checklist in there, and then give it a due date. And what due dates are self-explanatory. This card is due by, let's say, Friday the 14th. And I can X out of here. Now you'll see on top of the card, or what I call the card front, you'd see there is a checklist in there. On that checklist, 3 out of 5 items have been done. There is some description in there, and then there's a due date in there, and you see what that due date is. Once you click on it, you can actually mark that due date complete. So if you finish your task on, before, after the due date, whatever the case may be, you just click this box. That means that whatever was due by that date has been done. Now let's say you did not do it, and let's say the due date was today so today is July 8th, 2017. Let's say this is due by 9 p.m. You'll see that this due date color changes to this golden yellowish color, and it says it's due soon. So I know that something is due today. Now let's say if this was overdue, it's going to change to red. I'm going to say 1 p.m. I'm going to put 1 p.m. in here, hit save. Since it's already past 1 p.m. in my time zone, it turns to red. That means this card is now overdue. Whatever it is that you wanted to get done, you need to work on it. So that's how due dates work. I'm going to mark this as complete. And then the next is attachment. So you can attach things from a bunch of different places: Dropbox, Google Drive, computer. So I'm just going to put something from my computer. And then if, let's say, I put this CSV file, I can open it, attach it, and it's right there. Another thing you can do is, if I just you can paste a link right here, which works great. If I go to YouTube and grab any link from YouTube, I want to show you how this works in Trello. So let's go here, grab the URL for this video, and now let's paste it in here. Link, you can give it a name. How deep can we dig? And then hit attach. So it's going to plug it in, and in most cases, I guess it didn't work in this case. If it's a YouTube link in Google Chrome, right now I'm using Safari. In Google Chrome, if you put a YouTube link in there, you can actually see the YouTube video right in Trello. You don't have to go to YouTube or that whatever platform it is. And let me show you how that works. So let's go here into Google Chrome. We're going to go into my Trello board. I can show you how I had organized the course. So that course was right here. Let's say I go in this one, and there's already a YouTube link in here, and if I just click play on this, I'm going to make it mute so you don't have to hear it. you see it starts playing right in Trello, which is so cool. And you have all your YouTube links right here too. So that's another cool feature. Let's go back into Safari. I don't want to show you too much and confuse you. So that was attachment. It's very self-explanatory. Once an attachment has been made, your team or you can make a comment on that attachment. So let's say I put this as look like audience for FB ads and hit send. Now I can see down here there is a comment about this attachment, so I know what this attachment is about. So you can do that. The next thing you can do is you can hit move. Now what move does is you can move this card to another board if you wanted to, or you can move this card within this board to another list. And you just select, let's say we're going to stay on this board. I'm going to select a different list and I'm going to select what position on that list I want this card to go to. So in doing, there's already 3 cards, which means we can either go to one of these 3 positions or at the bottom, which would be position number 4. So I can do that, click the move button. Now this card gets moved from here to here, or you can simply drag and drop. If it's within that same board, you can simply drag and drop cards across the board. And so that's one thing. The other one is you can copy this card. I already showed you copy pasting, how it works, or you can hit the copy button. The next one is subscribe. So let's say you want to be notified anytime something happens on this card. You can click the subscribe button here, and you'll see this little eye appears here, the eye icon, which means anything that happens on this particular card, you will always be notified. And then you can archive it. So archiving simply gets rid of it from the board, but it won't delete it. I prefer archiving over deleting because there's these are all just text files, so they don't take up a lot of space and you're not going to run out of space with Trello. And then the last thing is share and more. I've never used print and export JSON, so I don't want to get into it, but this is pretty cool. You have the link to this card. So let's say you want to share this card with someone, you can give them the link. As long as your card is not set to private, as you can see right here, right now it's set to private. If it's not set to private, then you can share that link and someone else will be able to open it and come see the card, but you have to make sure it's set to public. The next is email to card. This thing is pretty cool. So if I just grab this email to card, and let's say I go into my Gmail account, you can forward emails straight to a card. Let's say there is a card where a bunch of people are collaborating and you want to keep track of who's saying what on that card. I'm just going to pick an email here. Let's pick this one, and I am gonna forward it, and I'm just gonna put that URL there and hit send. Now if we go back into Safari, you see at the bottom here, was it this one? I think it was this one. As soon as that email appears, you will be able to see it on the card. It usually takes like 30 seconds or so for the email to show up. So if I open this again, it should come in here shortly. Alright, we'll wait for it, see how long it takes for the email to show up on the card. So that was the that was the share and more feature for the card. So these are all the things you can do on your card. Now what I want to show you next, we won't cover all of Trello in this one video. I'm going to keep it short, keep it so you can kind of create your own Trello board and start working on your course outline in Trello. So I'm going to show you a few more things before we end this video, and I will have another one with some more advanced stuff. But what I want to show you next is the menu options here, especially these few up here, and then we'll get into the more part in the second video. So we already covered change background. The next is filter cards. And how this works is, let's say you search, let's say this thing gets out of control, right? I'm gonna show you my other board which is more filled, and we'll be able to filter better on that board. Before we do that, I see the email came in because I see this change from 1 to 2. So let's go in here and see what that looks like. So here's that email. Now because that email had a lot of links, this is how it would show up, but you can, send any email from your inbox straight to Trello, which is awesome. So let's go into my Trello board here. Now let's say I want to filter. See, there are a bunch of due dates, there are a bunch of labels here, and I'm using a Chrome extension which shows me the names of the labels. So I have a bunch of labels here, and I want to filter and see everything that's assigned to me. So any card which has my name on it as the label, I want to see that. So what you do is you click on show menu, filter cards, and show me every card with my name on it. And now I can close this. So you'll see up here filtering is on, which means now you'll be able to see what you're filtering on. And now if I scroll through it, you'll see only cards with my name on it. So there are other cards there, like this shows you this list has 9 cards, but only 2 of them have my name on it. That's why I only see 2 of them. So I can then just X out the filtering and everything else comes back. That's how it works. Let's go back into filtering. I can show you 1 or 2 more ways how we can filter. So another one how we can filter is we can filter by things that are overdue, due in the next month, due in the next day, so on and so forth. I'm going to say show me everything that's due date marked complete, and let's see what results we get. So we have a few cards here where due date has been marked completed, so that's good. And I'm just going to close this filtering, go back in here, and then you can also up here type something to filter. So let's say I want to look for every card that has the word voiceover. It doesn't have a label, it doesn't have to necessarily have a label, but I just want to search for anything with the word voiceover. So I can just close this. Now I'll see only cards with the word voiceover in it. So that's how the filtering works. It's pretty powerful. You can use it to kind of quickly get snapshots of what's happening on your board. Let's go back to our demo board here. Now the next one is Powerups, and I'll cover Powerups when I'm covering more advanced stuff. But with Powerups, you get up to, I want to say, 3 Powerups. You get 2 Powerups. In the free plan, you can get actually just 1, because if I disable this, then I can enable another one. So you get 1 power-up per board, and each board can have a different power-up that you can use. And power-ups are just added features on top of Trello that helps you make Trello even 10 times, 100 times better. So I'll show you the ones that I use on a daily basis. We won't cover that in this video. And then the next one is stickers. This is pretty cool. In the free version, you get a bunch of stickers here. If you upgrade to business class, you get a lot more stickers, and you can have custom stickers. I'm just going to stick to the basic ones. And how these work is, let's say instead of these labels which don't have names, I was pointing towards it like you can see my finger. So these labels, they don't have names. You can maybe have a naming convention where a green check mark means it's done, a thumbs down means it's not done. So you can do that and simply drag and drop them on a card. One card can have more than 1 sticker, so you can just keep dragging and dropping. And then let's say you added a sticker that you didn't really want there. You can click this little pencil here, click on the sticker and then remove it, or click on the sticker and then rotate it if you want, move it around if you want, and remove it. So that's how stickers work. Again, they're just like fun things to add to your Trello board, and you can add as many as you want on your card and then remove it if you don't like. So that's how Trello works. This was just the first video. I have a few more coming. Watch out for them. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a team, how to make this board public instead of private, and then also some of the power-ups. So we're going to get into it in the next few videos. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, comment, and like. And thank you again for your time. I will see you shortly. CourseCreatorHandbook.com. This is Amit signing off.